let's go to the senior advisor to the Obama campaign, former White House press secretary, Robert Gibbs, is joining us now. Mr. Gibbs, as you look at what looks to be a very good night for Rick Santorum, what do you make of these numbers?
Well, first of all, Anderson, I want to say I'm from Alabama and I like grits. I wanted to get that off my chest. Look, I think this is shaping up to be a remarkable night for Rick Santorum. I think it's a pretty bad night for Mitt Romney, and certainly not a great night by any means for Newt Gingrich. If you're going to be a regional candidate, you better win the states in your region. But I think Rick Santorum is on the verge of a pretty remarkable night in this race.
As far as your campaign is, do you want to see both Gingrich and Santorum stay in this as long as possible?
Well, look, I think those are decisions that each of these candidates is going to make. Like I said, I think Gingrich has a tougher time waking up tomorrow and not having won in a state that touches his home state and the next state over. Those are certainly decisions that he's going to make. I think there are certain political realities that he has to look at. But I think if you look at all three of these candidates, they represent largely the same philosophy, an economic policy that would take us back to huge tax cuts for the wealthy, adding trillions and trillions of dollars to our deficits and to our debts, many of the same policies that got us into the very mess that we're trying to get ourselves out of right now. So I don't think that there's a great distinguishing characteristic among all three of these.
And yet, in the most recent New York Times CBS News poll, your candidate, President Obama, his job approval numbers have dropped significantly just in the last month. It was 50% last month. 41% of the people polled in this latest poll approve of the job that he is doing. 47% disapprove.
And Anderson still beating all three of those candidates. Look, we've been at this for 5 years. There's going to be a poll taken tomorrow. There'll be a poll every day between now and Election Day. And these numbers are certainly going to bounce around, given different methodologies and different ways people ask questions. If we got too exuberant over one poll, we wouldn't last long in this business, because this certainly goes up and down. The American people understand what we've had to claw our way out of. But there isn't a day, Anderson, that I wouldn't rather be our campaign than any of these three. They're clawing it out with each other. Mitt Romney vastly outspent Rick Santorum. I think an interesting story, outspent Rick Santorum 5-1 in Alabama, 3-1 in Mississippi, almost all negatives, and still very little to show for it at the end of the night.
Mitt Romney earlier today said to our Wolf Blitzer that he thinks Rick Santorum is at what he called the desperate end of his campaign. Tonight, do you think that statement still holds up?
Well, I think that sounds like Mitt Romney thought he was going to do a whole lot better in Alabama and Mississippi than the actual results reflect right now. I don't think that. Look, Mitt Romney has said, his campaign has said that it would take an act of God for them not to be the nominee. Usually, a campaign with divinity on its side would be doing better than they are tonight.
Robert Gibbs, I appreciate your time tonight. Thanks.